Hi there. Tonight I wanted to have a quick chat to you. Actually, I want to give you eight reasons why you should want to have your own magazine. I've had a lot of questions come through on recent lives and on email about why would I want a magazine? So I thought today I'll cover 8 reasons why you should want your own magazine. So reason number 1, as soon as you position yourself as the editor-in-chief of a magazine that's soon to be launched or has launched, you instantly set yourself up as an authority. So if you were Joe Blogg's real estate agent from, Timbuktu, and you all of a sudden became the editor-in-chief of a magazine called Timbuktu Life, as well as a real estate agent in that area, then instantly you get credibility. You separate yourself from the competition. You elevate yourself above the market. So that's the first reason. Becoming an editor-in-chief makes you a real authority instantly. The second reason is it's what one of my clients calls the golden key to opening doors to influencers. So if there's people in your market that you really want to reach out to and you really want to engage with, sometimes knocking on the door is just plain old me, doesn't always get the door open and often gets the door slammed shut in our face. So if you're wanting to open the door to these influencers, creating your own magazine and actually interviewing those influencers and reaching out to those influencers with a view to using that content to spread throughout the market, it really does open doors, and we prove it every single day. Today we had, probably 8 to 10 emails coming back from people who've reached out to us and to be in our clients' magazines, and 99.9% of the time it's, oh yes, thank you, I'd be honoured to. So the second reason why you might like to have your own magazine is because it opens doors to those influencers, and in particular, some influencers charge you an awful lot of money to share anything about anything in particular. So opening doors to those influencers can be a really great way to get you reach, and I'll cover that in another point. That is my next point. So the third reason is because these high profile contributors and influencers that you're able to bring into your magazine, of course, they're more than likely, they're going to share their article with their audience. So we have a very much you scratch my back, I scratch yours policy at our publishing business with our clients. So when we reach out to influencers, we're not trying to go it all one way and just have these influencers share content about us. We obviously do a hell of a lot of work to share our magazine with the world, and they get to ride on those coattails. So likewise, if they've got a really big audience, when you interview them and then you share your article that you've written about them from your magazine, they will then in turn share that with the world. So it's a really nice win-win for both parties. And, of course, in your magazine, you're positioned as the editor-in-chief, and it's going out to thousands upon thousands. And in some cases for our clients, it's millions of people. So that's another great way, is that you're able to leverage off the audience of your influencers as well as them leveraging off you to get a greater reach. The fourth reason you might like to have a magazine is that it really does open doors. It starts conversations that may not have begun before. So often it's hard to get in front of people, it's hard to engage with people, people are busy and they're like, oh, why would I talk to you? It's a different conversation when you're emailing or reaching out as the editor-in-chief of a magazine, especially if you're in a niche. Our clients are able to cut through to all sorts of key influencers in their space, interview them, do a Q&A, review a book, review a movie, review whatever they're doing, and then it opens up a door for a greater conversation. So that's another really good reason why you may like to have your own magazine. Number 5 is that other media see you as an influencer or somebody with authority. So if you have your own magazine and you are the editor-in-chief of that magazine, if Sunrise or a particular TV show is looking to interview somebody in that particular area or space, and they're doing some research and you pop up as someone that's an editor-in-chief in that space, they're more than likely going to tap on your door as opposed to just Joe Blogs. Now, of course, with our clients, we utilise PR to further boost our magazine, so that gives us even more power and gives us even more, eyes open and doors opening to the media. But just positioning yourself as an editor-in-chief and having your own magazine, and of course remembering to update your LinkedIn profile with your new title as editor-in-chief, is a really great way to position yourself with the media if they're looking for someone to make comment or to reach out to for an opinion. Number 6, this is a big one too that often people don't think about, but content is really tough going these days. But with a magazine, wrapping your content up in a magazine, so say 4, 8 to 10 articles, whilst it sounds a lot, go and watch some of my other lives as to how it's not as hard as you think. You then can break those articles apart and it forms fantastic content for things like an authority website where your magazine is housed on a website where it positions you, it shows your magazine off, but it also shares the articles within that magazine. Also, the great thing is that all the content in the magazine, so every article that's written, can be pulled apart and broken up into individual posts and quotes and memes and all sorts of fantastic things to feed the beast that is the social media engines that are out there that just need constant feeding. So, we like to, out of our average magazine, we like to pull about 120 to 130 different pieces of content that we can utilize and leverage across our platforms. And we also position our clients with an authority website with their magazines as well. So it helps you to feed the very hungry content machine that we've all got to try and feed these days. Number 7 is that almost nobody's doing this. So, if you're watching the live, then you're going to know about it, but so few people actually look at a magazine as a tool for marketing. Very few people actually bother to think about a magazine this way. They think of the traditional magazine that sits in a newsagent or, is on a website being sold as a subscription. But we use a magazine very, very differently. And so because the nice thing is that so few people are doing it, it allows you the ability to position yourself and catapult yourself before everyone else comes on and finds out about this. So there's another reason. That was number 7 as to why you might like to consider your own magazine. And the final, number 8, reason that you may want to consider having your own magazine is it's a lot easier than you think. So thanks to modern technology now, gone are the days where you need to, have a really complicated system for building a magazine. And especially, we do both print and digital magazine depending on our clients' needs, but particularly with digital magazines, we've only just pulled some reports last week that show us that we really don't want to have more than 28 to 32 pages in a magazine. So when I say a magazine, you might think of a big chunky women's weekly that can be up to, 200 pages. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a much smaller, concise, power-packed, content-filled, interesting and engaging magazine that is interesting to read and also goes really well digitally, not just physically. So don't think of it as this mammoth task that you've got to try and achieve. It's a lot easier than you think. There are platforms like Issue Now, ISSUU, where you can upload a PDF of your magazine and instantly turn it into a beautiful page-turning flipper. So I'm going to really quickly cover off those 8 again and just give you the top level. So the first one is, as an editor-in-chief, you're automatically considered an authority, number 1. Number 2, it really is a golden key to opening up doors of, people that may not have even given you the time of day before. Number 3, high-profile contributors help you share your message by sharing their article with their audience, but in turn shares your magazine. Opportunities, number 4, opportunities really start to open up. You open up a conversation, you form a really great relationship with some of these contributors, and you really don't know the potential joint ventures that will, or opportunities that could come out of it. Number 5, you are seen as an authority in your area. So other media outlets may come knocking on your door. They want to see you, interview you because you are positioned as a leader in the industry, someone who knows something, who's got an opinion. So that's another reason. Number 6 is it's a content producing machine. So unlike what most people think about, oh my God, how can you possibly think that a magazine's easier to create than a blog post? Well, putting together a magazine and writing some articles and getting the help of writers out there to put together a magazine is a lot easier than you think. And then that creates a bunch of content that you can use later on. Number 7, almost nobody is doing this, so get in now because so few people are thinking or utilizing a magazine. There are a million publishers out there now pumping out books and calling themselves an author, but editor-in-chief there are not many, or editor if you want to call yourself just a straight editor. So there are so few people doing it. So it's a real opportunity to get in there and position yourself as an expert. And finally, it's a lot easier now than you think, thanks to all the technology that's out there and all the platforms we can search the world for people to help us put together our magazine at a very, very reasonable price. So they're the 8 reasons that you might want to consider having your own magazine. There are a lot more, but they're my top 8, so I thought I'd share them with you. Thanks for watching.